picked this beauty up from Facebook Market. It was for free, and whoever listed it left it on the curb and said on the post that it thinks that the engine blew. So I picked it up and I come home and I'm trying to start it. It's going freely. No resistance whatsoever. You can hear the blade continuously rotating. So I'm gonna get it loose, see what's going on, see if it's fixable or not, and I'll carry you along as I'm doing that. But my issue is that I don't have a tripod where I can put the camera while I'm doing it. So before I go into any stage, I will explain what I'm about to do, and when I'm done doing that, I'll show you what I did. So let's go. First, I'm gonna get these 3 bolts out. That's the bolts for the pull starter, and I'll get them out. So I got the pull starter assembly out, as you can see, and this cover can come out as well. Doesn't have any other bolt holding it, and it's got fuel tank, so I'm gonna set it aside. Ooh, there's a lot of gas in it. I wasted some gas. So you can see this thing turns freely. No resistance whatsoever. Usually you can turn this by hand, but it turns freely. I'm not gonna check if it has spark yet. It might have, it might not. But that's not my concern at this time. My concern is to get into the engine to see why it turns freely. But one thing I noticed is that even as it turns, it doesn't make any noise. So I wouldn't say conclusion, but my thinking is that it might be some worn rings or anything. You never know. If it was the connecting rod or the shaft, it would have been making some clunky or clicking noise, but it's not. But you never can tell until you get in there. So I'm gonna keep dismantling it until I get to the bottom of the problem. Next, I'm gonna get this air filter out. This air filter looks doesn't look bad. For it to have blown, maybe somebody didn't put some oil in the engine. But I'm gonna figure that out. Next, I'm gonna get these 2 bolts out, get this plastic out, get the carburetor out, and go from there. The carburetor is out, and this looks new. for this engine to blow is surprising. So I'll put that aside. Get all these hoses out from this plastic. Put it aside. And the next, I'm gonna try to get all these accessories out from the engine, and then get the engine itself out from the deck. I got the coil out, but I put the bolt back on so I know where I got them out from. And for this negative wire, it comes from the coil, passes under here, held with this clip right here, passes under, and is connected to the kill switch right here. So I'm gonna take that out, remove it from here, and get it out completely. Ignition coil is out. I'm gonna put that aside. Whatever you get out, make sure you know how to get them out. And there is this gasket. Get that out too. Put it aside. Next, I'm gonna get this flywheel out. Probably get the exhaust out, and then go from there. So this kill switch, I get it out with a star screwdriver, and I'm gonna use, because I don't want to lose that bolt, so what I'm gonna use is this right here. I don't know if you can see it. I hope I can. Gonna use it, wrap it around the bolt, come up here, wrap it around the bolt so it will hold that bolt in place, and I'll put it aside. Next is I'm gonna get this brake and kill switch mechanism out. There's a 10 ml bolt and another 10 ml bolt down here. And I think that's all. I can get that out completely. So I'm having difficulty getting this flywheel out, but there's something that I noticed which tells me that connecting rod is sharp. So I put this here and I'm turning it. You can see that it's not making any move. Then I push it down. It goes back down by itself when I push it down, and now I can't move this anymore. Get to some point, and then I can't move it. Then it moves again. and it keeps the flyway can move now. And I push this thing down some more, and now the flyway stops at this point and at this point. So that tells me that the connecting rod is shot. So the connecting rod is the problem with this lawnmower. Since I'm having difficulty getting this flywheel out, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the engine out from the deck and see if I can access the internal of the engine from the bottom. In order to get this engine out from the deck, I have to take these blades out, remove these bolts, remove the pulley or just the belt, and then pull the engine out from the top. So I got the engine out from the deck, and I still want to keep the bolts there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use mechanic's wire to hold the bolts in place. I'll show you. So with that mechanic wire twirling around the bolts, that will keep the bolt from falling off and keep it in place. And that's so at the end I don't try to figure out, oh, where does this bolt go, where does that bolt go. So I like to leave the bolts where I got them out from to minimize confusion, especially on something that I've never worked on before. Here is the engine, and when I move it around, I hear some noise, meaning that certain things were shot in the engine. I'm gonna go ahead and open the engine up, but before I do that, I have to pull this out, either this or this, or even both. Pull them out, losing these three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts out. Then I'll look at the whatever damage that is in the inside of the engine and see if it's something that is fixable, and if it's fixable, to determine if I can get the part and replace it, and probably that will fix the engine. So in order to get this pulley and the blade assembly out, I'm gonna use this bearing puller. I think I bought this bearing puller from Harbor Freight, and I already put it in place. And I'm gonna use some impact wrench. To try to get it out. that was plastic. Oh, that broke. I thought that was metal and it broke. So now I got the pulley and the blade attachment assembly out. So I'm gonna lose all these bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, and I think 3 outside, making it 7. And I'll pull this side out, then I'll get into the engine. I got all those bolts loose, but it was 4 outside and 4 behind here. But before I pull this bottom off, I'm gonna clean this area because there's an oil seal here. I don't want to damage it if I don't have to. So I'm gonna clean this shaft. You may probably sandpaper it, clean it up, oil it, so that when I pull this thing out, it will not damage the oil seal. So this is what I found when I removed the bottom of this engine. You can see that the main bearing and the connecting rod and bearing connect is shot like in pieces, and the mating side for the main bearing got some of this main bearing metal welded, almost welded to the surface. So I'm gonna check to see if I can find a part or the parts, and if so, I'll replace it. What I'm gonna do is just to make sure I get this area smooth. Oh, it's running now. Get that area smooth. Get a new connecting rod, which is shot, as you can see from here. There's the connecting rod. It's broken. And if I find it, I'll replace it. Okay, here they use RTV for this, for the sealant. So that's so I have sanded the mating side of the crankshaft where the main bearing sits. I sanded it down, sanded it smoothly, and it feels smooth. Cannot feel any bumps anymore. Feels smooth. Come on, turn. see it's smooth now. So I ordered for the connecting rod, and when it comes, I will loosen the other side of this engine, which is this side, and get out the piston from there. Then I will put it on, put the connecting rod on, and put it back in the engine. I don't want to mess with the timing belt. I don't think the timing has been messed with, so, but even at that, I can time it, but I don't want to mess with it if it's already timed. So when I get the new connecting rod, I'll put it on, and I'll show you how I put it on. So the part that I've been waiting for just got here, and this is the second time that it's coming, which is about 3 weeks since the first time, almost a month, more than 3 weeks. The first one came, and this piece here was broken. You see it in there. That piece was broken, so I called the vendor. They wanted to refund me, but I said I didn't want a refund, I want a replacement. So they sent me this one, which is good. So now here's the engine, here's the upper part of the lower part of the engine. So now I'm gonna commence fixing this. Before I do, I'm gonna wash this with try to clean it up with some gas. Make sure all the pieces of metal, like so, out of the interior part of the engine, because that might cause some damage if it's not cleaned up. So after cleaning it up, I'm looking at this connecting rod, and at first I thought I can do it without having to dismantle the whole thing, but there's no way I can do it without getting all this part out. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll put on the connecting rod, put some silicone, seal it up, bolt it back together, and that'll be it. So in here is some gas. I'm gonna use it to wash this thing clean. I'm using gas because even though this thing has oil seal, but I believe that the oil and the gas are from the same family, and if the oil itself cannot dissolve the oil seal, I don't think the gas will. But if by any chance it affects the oil seal, then I have no choice but to buy another oil seal and put it on there. But for now, I'm gonna use this gas to wash this thing clean. And because I can't hold the camera while I'm doing it, I will show you the outcome once I'm done. I'm done washing the lower part of the engine. As you can see, it's clean now, and there are no pieces of metal left over inside the engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on this side, but before I do that, I have to remove the crankshaft. But in order to remove the crankshaft, I was trying to see if I can see any timing marks that I can remember or pay attention to, so that I put it the same way back in. The only one that I'm seeing is this one so far, this mark right here. And as I'm looking at I'm trying to put this, looking, I see that mark, I was hoping it corresponds to the magnet here, but I think it corresponds to the, because this is the first magnet and this is the second magnet, and that line corresponds to the second one where it says puller, P-L-L-E-R, puller. So, but what gave me confidence to go ahead and remove that crankshaft without minding the timing is that it has a key. So I don't think I will make any mistake putting it back, because if that keyway goes the right way, it will at least time with the crankshaft. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the crankshaft out, and to pull it out, I'm gonna put maybe a screwdriver or a punch in here and punch it out through the other way. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Like I said, I've never worked on a Honda engine before, so I'm being extremely careful about where I got things out, so I can put them back at the original place and the way it should be, so I don't miss the timing and everything. As you can see, the crankshaft is out. This is what I used to wedge it to be able to heat it out. So the crankshaft is out, and I'm going to bring out the so that's the piston. I might just leave this piston at this point, so even though one of the rings are out, so that I don't have to struggle to put it in. So in order to get this thing out, this connecting rod out, there's a ring there that I have to take out. If I take that ring out, then I can push that pin up and remove the connecting rod. In order to get that ring I don't know if you can see it out. I'm gonna put a screwdriver here and use this picker it's not grabbing it. So I'm gonna push the end of it to get to that point. So you can see that the end of that ring is there. Snap ring. Let me try another picker. Maybe this one will do it. Oh, this thing is rotating on me. You can hold the screwdriver steady. So that's the other end of it. So I'm gonna push it a little bit this way. And hang it on. If you can hang on there. Yep, hang it there. And I don't want to lose it. But if I lose it, I'll buy another one. Then as I hang one end here, I'm gonna find the other end. Oh man. Okay, hang that end there. I'll rotate the other end. No, it's not working. Okay, I can't do it with one hand. I'll show you when I get it out. So I went ahead and got the piston out, and I still left the connecting rod there so I can see the orientation of it, which way it goes. So you can see on this side it's just the numbers, but on this side has the ZOY and has this line. So I'm thinking that, and when you turn this to the other side, you can see that it only has that number and that indentation, which is here, like the other side. So this is the way that the connecting rod will go into will connect to the to the piston. So I push that pin out and still holding the connecting rod so I don't begin to guess which way it goes. And I can see it goes this way, so I'm gonna bring the new one and put it on right away. So I've washed the other side of the engine. I also cleaned the crankshaft, cleaned the valve, gears, and everything. I also have that leftover silicone that I will use for gasket. So now I'm gonna commence putting it back together. I forgot to mention that I I got the connecting rod put together, and while I was taking the connecting rod out, I realized that this part was on top, like visible to me. I could see it while I was bringing it out. So that tells me that this connecting rod, piston, will go in this way, because this is the correct orientation. If you look, you see here is the number HP6A, and this is HP10A. I don't know if that will make any difference, but I'm sure I ordered, I mentioned the brand and the model of this lawnmower when I was ordering it, so I don't think that will make any difference. Plus I try to match them, whatever is left of this one, I try to match it side by side, and everything matched. So, but the only issue I had was that this connecting rod was rotating freely around that pin, but this one is, even though it's moving, but it's a little strong. So I'm not sure if that's the way it should be. Maybe when oil starts lubricating it, it might free up. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So, and I think I'll go ahead and start putting it together. First, I'm gonna introduce the piston to the engine. Introduce the piston to the engine, and I don't have any tool around me now to put the piston in, but I'm gonna do it manually. So since the piston is in, I'm gonna lubricate it with some oil. This is a 2-cycle engine oil, but I'm sure it's gonna work. Oil is oil, plus I'm not putting a lot, and I'm gonna pull it up and down to make sure it's lubricated. And twist it around. Twist it around. Up and down. And I'm also gonna lubricate this metal to metal contact with the crankshaft. I'm also gonna lubricate the crankshaft side. Then I'm gonna put it together, and I think previously I said that this thing should go this way, but it goes this way. That's some point of correction. It goes that way. So I brought the piston out because I want to show you something. If you look under this piston, you see where it says FW, and below it is an arrow. So that FW means flywheel, and the arrow shows you the direction where the flywheel is. So if you put this piston in now, it's pointing at the flywheel. That arrow is pointing at the, showing that the flywheel is on this side. So that's why I brought it out, because I didn't want to create confusion. People will be wondering, okay, how do you put the piston in? What direction? So this is the direction that it will go. Flywheel. And this thing, so if you put, this is the way the piston goes, and that arrow right there is pointing at the flywheel side. See that? This is the way the piston goes in, and the arrow is pointing at the flywheel side. And this, if you look at this, it goes this way. It goes this way, and this thing also is on the other side, away from me. So if you put the connecting rod, this is the position it will take. So I put the camshaft, piston, connecting rod, valve gears. I put them all together. But I want to show you something, how to time this thing. So in order to time this thing, there's an arrow. See that arrow? I turned it this way so you can see. That arrow aligns with this line right here. So when that arrow aligns with the line, perfect, then these two lines, sorry, the thing rotated. Those two lines, see that line should align with the level of the engine block. So when it aligns like that, see those two lines, one on each side, one here, one here. So those two lines levels with the engine block, and this line right here aligns that arrow with that arrow. See how this line on the engine block aligns with that arrow inside, that's the timing. One more thing, do not forget this washer stroke spacer. And you can see that this washer is almost curved upwards. So it goes in this way and curves upwards. That's how it goes. Then on the other side, to get the correct timing for the flywheel, the only thing you need to do, I wish I have somebody holding this camera for me, is to align the keyway with the key, just like that. Make sure it aligns. Okay, the brake has moved in, so I'm gonna get it out of the way and rotate this until it aligns with the keyway, and that's it. So today is another day, and as you can see, I have cleaned the matting surfaces so I can apply gasket maker and put the engine together. This is the gasket maker. It's a leftover from a job I did some time ago. So I'm gonna apply the gasket maker. I think I'll apply it on this side. So hard to press out. I can't find my tube squeezer, so I'm gonna do it by hand. Squeeze it and spread it out. Making sure I have it all over the surface. Making sure I don't miss any spot. Sometimes I wish, in order to do these videos, I wish I have 3 hands so I can do good quality video, but I'll try my best. So now I have applied the gasket maker all around. So I'm gonna let it sit for like 15 to 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna bring them together, bring the two parts together and tighten it by hand until it starts squeezing out. And I'll let it sit for another 20-25 minutes. Then I'll tighten it with a wrench so that it will be perfect and it doesn't leak oil. So I put the whole engine together. You can see everything is in together. So now I'm gonna try to put it on the deck. So in order to do that, I'm gonna introduce the pulley, even though I broke the pulley while I was trying to pull it out, but I'm still gonna use it for now, at least to see if the engine will start. I've already ordered for a new one. Then when the new one comes, I will remove this one and put the new one. Another issue that I have is that while trying to remove the flywheel, I mushroomed the shaft. I did not even realize it. It was so subtle that I didn't realize until I tried to put the flywheel back and I realized it was mushroomed. So I tried to force it in with an impact and it stripped it. And I have tried to rethread thread the shaft, but I'm finding it difficult. But in any case, I'll still put the engine in the deck and maybe find a stronger or a better tap and die. I bought a tap and die. I don't think that's a professional grade, so it was not helping out. So I'm gonna return it and buy another one. But if in any case I couldn't rethread it, I have another idea. Just to put in the flywheel, find out where it stops, and drill a hole in this thing and use a catapin. Yep. If I can't find a tap and die that will, do another thread on the shaft, or just drill a hole. The engine is now on the deck, and I know that the installation is the opposite of removal, but something I still want to remind you how to get it out. So the engine is held in place with this 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. I also connected the shroud for the belt, and you have the shroud for the belt. Don't forget that. And that's that for this side. When you turn it over, the next thing that I will do now is to connect the lever for the lever you pull before you start the engine. So first of all, put the pin here, pull it back, and push this in, and that's it. Next, I'm gonna go look if it works. It works fine. The next, I'm gonna connect the starter coil. And it goes this way. Sorry about all that. I'm focusing. Anytime I try to focus my eyes on what I'm doing, the camera goes away unintentionally without me even realizing it. So that goes there, and this long one goes here. So this is a 10 and this is a 9. So I'm gonna tighten it together. And remember, this negative comes from here, goes, this clip goes underneath. Station is here, comes back. There's a kill switch here. Where is the kill switch? Here it is. The kill switch goes like this, held down with this bolt. Here's my screwdriver. Stay there so you don't fall away. Just like that. Then I have to go see if it needs any adjustment. When you pull the lever comes back, push that skill, pull the switch in. Now you can start the engine. Once you release the lever, it moves away from the kill switch and the engine stops. So pushing that lever in, the kill switch in, is how you start the engine. When you leave it, the lever moves away and the engine dies. Next, I'm gonna put the spark plug. Next, I'm gonna install the flywheel. To do that, you have to push the brake away. Either you have somebody hold the brake, hold this for you while you push it, or you can pull it away from here and push the flywheel down. So it's time to connect this breather mechanism, but I noticed that the gasket is worn out. So I'm not gonna buy a new gasket for it. I'm gonna just make it. And I'll show you how I make gaskets. So to make the gasket, I need the original gasket, or in some cases the mating surface where the gasket goes, like the metal. But in this case, I'm gonna use this original gasket. I also need a knife. For this, I have sharpened the tip of this knife with a grinder. I also need a scissors. And I also need a pen or pencil. Sorry, I stopped the video to go get a pen. So what I do is I place and let me show you. This is just a cardboard from a cornflakes cereal. So I placed the original gasket and I trace it out with a pen or pencil and I cut it. But since I cannot hold the phone and do the outline at the same time, I'm gonna stop the video and I'll show you after I'm done. One thing I forgot to mention was this belt hole puncher. So now I have traced the outline of the gasket. The belt hole puncher will help me punch this little hole. The scissors will help. I will use the scissors to cut out the outline, and I'll use the knife. Let me see if I can do part of it with just one hand. I use the knife to cut the interior, and I like to cut the interior first while before I cut the outside. So I cannot hold it and do it, so I have to use two hands, and I'll show you after I'm done. So now I'm done cutting the interior. Just like that. Then I'll use the scissors to cut the outline and use the puncher to punch this hole. I'm done cutting the outline. Next is to use the puncher. I'm gonna set it to the one with the biggest diameter. I can do it with one hand, but you get the drift. So I've punched the hole, and I'll put the old against the new, and that's it. So now I'll use the one that I cut. So now here is the perfect fit. So next thing is to put this thing up. Put it in place. That's where it goes. Put it in place. And bolt it down. There is the bolt. Bolt is right here. That's it. I think it's sitting right, so bring it up. Make sure it's sitting right. Okay. It's sitting there perfectly now. And I'm gonna clip this negative wire where it should be. The next is to put the carburetor and air filter. So now is the time to connect the carburetor, the air filter, the intake manifold. So the way I do it is I connect this line first, and this linkage is first, because it will be difficult if you bolt down all this assembly and then try to connect the linkage. So you put the linkage first, put the carburetor, air filter, assembly, intake manifold, and you connect the linkage, which you can see there, connect it to the other side, to the governor, which you can see there. Connect it first. Then bring this whole assembly and bolt it down to the engine. So the carburetor, the air filter assembly, the linkage, it's all there. But there is a spring that goes here and maybe connects to this bolt right here. I know what I did with that spring, but I'll find it. Now, now I'm gonna gap the coil from the flywheel, and I'm good. I'm gonna gap the coil from the flywheel. Sorry for the interruption. That was my daughter. And the spec is 0.25 to 0.35. I have the gapping tool here, and I'm gonna go 0.28. In order to gap it, you move the flywheel, the magnetic side away from the coil, and insert the gapping tool. While holding the gapping tool in place, you rotate the flywheel to the magnet and then bolt it down. See, when you try to move the flywheel, the gapping tool, try to move along with it, so you have to hold it in place and rotate. Let me see if I can do it by one hand. No, I can't, so I'll show you when I'm done. So I have completely gapped the coil. You can see it's rotating. Now I have to put the fuel tank. This goes this way. this has to come this way. And here are the bolts. Missing one. Seems like no matter what you do, you always lose something. Okay, so missing one bolt, one nut there. That is somewhere here. I'll find it. So after you put the fuel tank, there's this assembly that go here. The longer bolt goes to the top. And the shorter bolt goes to the bottom. And they are all 10mm bolts. Started with hand. Use my electric to complete it. Connect the fuel line to the carburetor, which is behind here. Now I'm gonna add oil. There's a little gas in the tank. And then there's a spring that's missing from here. That spring connects to these two mechanisms here. I don't know what I did with it. So this is the governor. This is just a stationary mechanism to connect the spring. Now I'm gonna add oil to the engine. Move it to the side. Open it all up. Add some engine oil. Check the level. If I added too much, is it from the part going down there? So this is the moment of truth. We're gonna find out if our hard work paid off. The only thing I haven't put in here is the thing that go here. You can see the 3 bolts, one here, and one there. The just covers the exhaust. So we're gonna see if it starts, and if it starts, I'm gonna use it to cut the grass. Voila! It started. The beauty started. So guys, that's how you fix a lawnmower with a broken connecting rod. But I think it's running too fast. The RPM is running high. So I figured that out. And I think that's it for this video. We achieved the main purpose of creating this video. The engine started.